Hi class, today we're going to look at two problems. We're going to look at P12-3A and P12-4A, and we're actually going to look at the homework assignment. So usually I do the problems in section B of the homework, but this week, or in this video, we're going to look at the actual homework problems and the actual homework templates, because there's a couple places that are quirky, and I want to make sure that you don't get stumped by just the weirdness of the spreadsheets. So in our problem, it says, and we're at P12-3A, and it says the balance sheets for Sports Unlimited for 2018 and 2017 are provided below. We have some balance sheets. And then requirement 1 says prepare a vertical analysis of Sports Unlimited's 2018 and 2017 balance sheets. Express each amount as a percentage of total assets for that year. So we're doing vertical analysis, and in vertical analysis, we're trying to calculate what percentage is each of these line items of total assets. So in other words, cash is what percent of total assets, accounts receivable is what percentage of total assets, and all the way down. So to do that, we can do some formulas in Excel. You can do this with a calculator, and you can type in the final answer, and that's fine. If you want to do formulas, I wanted to just walk through that so you would know how if you don't already know how. So we're going to start our formula with an equal sign, because Excel uses equals in their formulas. And then we're going to take the amount of cash and divide that by the total assets. So cash is in column E and row 14, so we're going to type in E14. We're going to divide that by total assets, which is $450,000. Now I'm just going to type in $450,000 because I might want to do some copy and pasting, and it's just easier to me to do it that way. So we've got total cash is 23% of the $450,000 total assets. Now you can go through that process all the way down. To me, I think the easy thing is to copy and paste, because that's the beauty of Excel. So if you want to do that, you can actually drag down, and that will copy your formula. The other thing you can do is click on the cell, right click, and click on copy, and then go down to where you want to go. Let's actually go there and click on paste. So you can do that, and it'll copy and paste. Now you can drag all the way till you get to the blue parts, and then you have to actually copy and paste to kind of skip down. Now when you get to the bottom, you should have 100% of these things should be right here, because each of these things makes up a percentage of total assets, and all of them together should make up 100% of total assets. So that should be 100%, which is the total of all these. Now you're going to do the same thing in 2017. The only difference is here we've got total assets of $450,000. In 2017, total assets are not $450,000, they're $400,000. So make sure you change your denominator. And when you get down to the next section, you're going to do the same thing with liabilities and equity. So you're going to take the amount of each line divided by the total liabilities and equity, and the same thing here, divided by the 2017 total liabilities and equity. So you're going to get a percentage of each of those. Now I don't think there's anything that is quirky with that part of the spreadsheet, so you should get everything coming out with a correct indicator, as long as you have things correct. If you were to get a try again indicator, sometimes I have students whose version of Excel does weird things that I don't see on mine. So if you get a try again indicator and you're using formulas, try just typing in the answer directly and see if that fixes it. If it does not, and you can't figure out what's wrong, and you're pretty sure you're right, send me an email and I can take a look at it and make sure that you're on track. So then we get down to requirement 2, and requirement 2 says prepare a horizontal analysis of Sports Unlimited's 2018 balance sheet using 2017 as the base year. So we've still got the balance sheets, 2 years worth of data, and we're going to do a horizontal analysis. So up here we did a vertical analysis. So we were looking at each of these as a percent of the total liabilities and equity, or total assets up here, and we were looking up and down, or vertical. Here we're going to read these across and do some calculations horizontally or cross. So to do this part of the assignment, we're going to first have to calculate the amount of the increase or decrease between 2018 and 2017. So to do that as a formula, we're going to do equal. We're going to take the 2018 amount, which is in column E and row 48 for cash, and we're going to subtract the 2017 amount, which is in column F, and row 48. So we've got an amount of increase of $33,100, and that looks right. So from 2017, we actually had an increase of cash of $33,100 when we moved from 2017 to 2018. Now the thing here is make sure you're going in the right direction. So to get these numbers, you should be taking 2018 minus 2017. If you do it the other way and subtract 2017, or do 2017 minus 2018, you'll get signs that are the opposite here of what they should be. So like that would be a minus $33,100, and it's going to mess up your answers. So do 2018 minus 2017 to get this column. The next thing you're going to do is calculate the percent of increase or decrease. So to do that, you're going to first type in an equal, and you're going to take the amount that you calculated here of the increase or decrease, and in this case, that cell is not protected, so you can just click on it. And then you're going to divide that by the 2017 amount, and here you can't click on it, won't let you. So you're going to have to type in that cell, which is F48. And that's going to give you a percentage of change. So our cash increased by 47% from 2017 to 2018. That's what that's telling you. So with this one, you can actually do the same thing to make your calculations. You can drag and drop, or you can right-click, copy, and paste all the way down. Remember, if you drag and drop, you're going to get stuck here, so you actually have to copy and then paste here. Or you can type in the calculations again, or you can do this by calculator and just plug them in directly. All right, a couple of things that, and this one actually has some things that don't work out quite right. So when you're looking at investment in bonds, see in 2017 there's no amount, there was zero, and then you've got an amount over here. So if you try to do formulas in this one, let's just do that. So if we copy and then paste, we get this thing that says div by 0. So what it's telling you is you can't divide using that 0 there. It's giving you an error, and then over here, of course, gives you the same error. You can leave that blank, and that's fine with me. Or you can put in a 0. It'll actually take a 0. So if you want to put in a 0, you can. That's really not a correct answer. It's really a nonsense answer. But if you want to put 0 in, leave it blank. Or if you leave that div indicator, I'm not going to count it wrong. So that's the first area that is weird. The next thing you'll see with accumulated depreciation, those are negatives. So if you do 2018 minus 2017, you're going to come up with a negative right here. Let me just do that again. So I'm going to copy. I'm going to paste my calculations. So I've got a minus 9,800, and that's because both of these are negative. So you're actually going further negative from 2017 to 2018. If you want to, let's see, we can just do it that way. If you want to change this to 9,800, it'll fix that minus there. Let me just go back to where it was. So it did look like that, and it gives you that 47.1%. It says try again. It's telling you to try again because that should be a negative percent. So the two ways to fix that is either type in minus 47.1%, or you can change this one to a positive. So you can actually type in 9,800, and that'll fix that one. Or if you leave this one as minus 9,800, you can actually type in minus 47.1%, and it'll fix it. So this one is going to tell you to try again if you don't have that negative sign there. So if you find that is the case, don't get frustrated. Just type that amount in by hand. And let's see. I don't think anything else on this spreadsheet is going to not work the way it should. I did want to point out that in accounts payable, down here, you actually have a decrease from 2017 to 2018. Excuse me. So this amount is going to be negative. So that's going to give you a negative change here. It's a decreased change. That's actually right, and you should get a correct indicator there when you do all that calculations. So when you get ready to total these, you can total for here, I would total up all the changes here and then take those changes as a percent of 2017, just as you did up here, except for here you're working with totals. And then calculate your percent change the same way. And you're going to do the same thing down here with total liabilities and equity. You're going to calculate each of these lines, add the first column up to a total, then take that total divided by $400,000 will give you the percent change. Usually I don't do 2 problems in one video, but these are fairly easy, and we're not going to work through this entire problem, but I did want to point out a couple things. So this is P12-4A, and the instructions say the following income statement and balance sheet for virtual gaming systems are provided, and we've got an income statement and a balance sheet, and you're going to need all that data to calculate these ratios that you have. So there's just a list of ratios here. And over here you have the actual calculation. So receivables turnover ratio is the first one that it's asking us to calculate. Now if you can't remember how to do these, if you'll go in your book to illustration 12-7, I think it's in like the second section of the chapter. So chapter 12, illustration 12-7 will actually give you a list of the formulas for all of these ratios that are in this particular problem. That's not all the ratios that exist in the world of accounting, but it's the ones you're going to need to do this particular assignment. So receivable turnover ratio is the first one. So these first boxes are what where you're going to type in the actual calculation. So to do that, you're going to have to look at your balance sheet and income statement. And to make this calculation, we're going to take $3,086,000. And that came off of the income statement. So the numerator for receivable turnover ratio is the net sales amount. And so I looked at the income statement and got the net sales amount for that one. In the denominator, we're going to actually have to look at our balance sheets. So let's see. We're going to look at the balance sheet, and we're going to find in the asset section the amount for accounts receivable. And we're going to take the average accounts receivable. So to do that, we're going to take $70,000 of accounts receivable, which was the accounts receivable for 2017. And we're going to add to that $91,000, which is the accounts receivable for 2018. So we're going to take both of those amounts, and we're going to divide both of those amounts by 2 to get the average. And I know these cells are too little. I don't think you can't adjust the width, so you'll just have to live with that. But that's where what you're going to do here. You're going to put in the formula. Over here, you're actually going to do the math. So if you take $3,086,000 and divide it by the denominator, which was 70,000 plus 91,000 divided by 2, it's going to give you 38.3. So we're going to type in 38.3, and that gives us a little correct indicator. But there's actually another cell here, and if you click on that cell, you'll get this drop-down box, and you have to choose the measure that you're using. In this case, it's 38.3 times is the turnover ratio. So you're going to click on that times. Excuse me. And that's how you're going to complete that problem, or that particular ratio. So you're going to do that all the way down. And again, look at the formulas in illustration 12-7 so you know what amounts to pull off your income statement, your balance sheet. So you can put your formulas in here, put the amounts in here, and then put the label there. So you're going to pick either percents, days, times, or if it's a ratio of whatever to 1, you'd use that one. And then down here, there is one that's a debt to equity ratio. I believe that was just a percentage, so it doesn't have a title or little tagline there, so you can leave that one. Don't worry about that. So that's all there is to P12-4, just basically doing math and following along with those ratio calculations. If you have, and I think all these work, I didn't find any of these that gave me a wrong indicator when I put in the answer here. So you shouldn't have any problem. They should all say correct when they are correct. If you have any questions, though, feel free to contact me. You can email me That's the best way to get a hold of me. If you're running short on time, you can text me. My cell phone number is listed in the syllabus, or you can give me a phone call. If I don't answer, leave a message. Sometimes I'm in class and I can't answer right then. So I hope this is helpful, and good luck on Chapter 12.